No, he didn't beat every odds to go out like this. I know he did not.
On October 17, 2024, Durk would experience the surprise of a lifetime when he was arrested by the U.S. federal marshals for the murder for hire attempt on Quando Rondo. Now, although many fans were in disbelief,
oh my God! Oh, I pulled it up myself, my nigga!
the evidence seemed quite overwhelming, with alleged text messages of him telling his crew, "Don't book no flights under no names involved with me." Now, although Durk was staying in San Fernando Valley when the murder took place in Los Angeles, the feds are alleging that Durk funded the travel in the entire murder operation from start to finish. Now, the prosecution is alleging that on August 19, 2022, Lil Durk and his 5 OTIP affiliates, Kavon Grant, better known as Vonnie, DeAndre Dontrell Wilson, aka Didi, Keith Jones, aka Flocka, David Brian Lindsay, aka Brown Eyes, and Asa Houston, aka Boogie, and other unknown co-conspirators, known or unknown, conspired and agreed with each other to knowingly use facilities of interstate and foreign commerce, particularly airplanes, cars, cell phones, and the internet, with the intent of the murder of TB, which is Quando Rondo. Durk's life is hanging on the balance beam, with a guilty conviction under federal laws sentencing him to the rest of his natural life in jail. But where did Schmirk all go wrong? Now I'm Jared Starr, and today we're going to be talking about the retaliation Lil Durk murder for hire plot that may have him in jail for the rest of his life after signing for King Von as day one homie. Now make sure you like and comment for more videos like this and hit that post notification bell. The Lil Durk murder for hire plot is the true definition of loyalty and willing to ride out for the cause. Now the Durk case stems from a complex web of events and relationships inside the hip hop and street world. Now the primary motive for this alleged murder for hire was a revenge for the death of Davon Bennett, better known as King Von. Now close friend and associate of Lil Durk, who was fatally shot on November 6, 2020, outside the Monica Hookah Lounge in downtown Atlanta. Now, Von was killed by Lil Tim, Quando Rondo's best friends, in a self-defense murder that made Quando and Youngboy's 4K J crew the most hated crew in rap history. On or about November 6, 2020, DB, a high-ranking OTF member and a close associate and friend of defendant Banks, got into a physical altercation with TB at a nightclub in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, during the fight, an associate of TB pulled out a gun and shot DB multiple times, killing him. Now, after the murder, defendant Banks made it clear in a coded language that he would pay a bounty or monetary reward or make a payment to anyone who took part in the killing of TB for his role in DB's murder. Now, this altercation started by King Von could have easily been avoided, but Von pushed the line, beating Quando Rondo up, or as Durk would say, putting the Floyd Mayweather on him, and Tim did what any other gangster was supposed to do and defended his friend with deadly force. Lil Durk's biggest issue with Quando Rondo was the release of his diss track End of Story after the murder of King Von, which was a play on words of Von's infamous Crazy Story sequence, with direct bars saying, "Blood on your brother on the ground, go pick your mans up. And I'm right with screaming self-defense, he should have never put his hands on me. Look at the footage, that's all the evidence. See them pussy N-words should never ran up on me."
And I'm speaking for the whole Chicago. You ain't there, shut the fuck up. You made a diss and said something about Von. That's why I don't fuck with you. You ain't did shit. You did zero.
Durk would have explained that they were all friends before, and King Von was killed by a nerd because Von would have beat up Quando Rondo very bad if Tim wasn't there.
Von put the Floyd Mayweather on the motherfucker, and that happened. That's a different situation.
Quando's career has been affected because
Quando's a little boy.
Well, I mean, that's his
I
artist.
used to have him like this.
You mean Quando?
Saying fuck 63rd. Me and Von.
Saying though, they got 63rd niggas, some dirty ass niggas, man.
According to the superseding indictment, in 2010, Banks formed an organization called Only the Family, better known as OTF, which amongst other things produced and sold hip-hop music from artists primarily from the Chicago area. OTF also acted in association in fact of individuals who engaged in violence, including murder and assault at Banks' direction, and to maintain their status in OTF. Now, just like the media does for any gang in any major city, they portrayed Durk as this violent gang member who was poisoning the streets of Chicago. Now, in 2019, Durk and his Only the Family label released their Family Over Everything album, which depicted him as a crime boss alongside Buka 600 and King Von being the underbosses taking orders from him. In that moment, we thought nothing of it, as these American street rappers were almost showing love to the Italian mafia. But in 2024, after being arrested trying to flee the country, that picture feels like a stain Durk couldn't wipe away. The United States grand jury is accusing Durk of conspiracy and the use of interstate facilities to commit murder for hire resulting in death, which pertains to the fact that they traveled from Illinois to California, from one state to another, to commit a murder. Secondly, the use to carry and discharge of a firearm and a machine gun, and possession of such firearms in furtherance of a crime of violence resulting in death. Now lastly, the possession of a machine gun, which is very illegal. The indictment will further detail that on August 19, 2022, several OTF members and associates used 2 vehicles and worked in tandem to track and stalk and attempt to murder TB for hours, culminating in a shooting at a gas station located near the Beverly Center shopping mall. Now, the co-conspirators used multiple guns, including a machine gun, and fired at least 18 rounds at TB's vehicle, striking and killing the victim, identified in court documents as SR, which is Lil Pop, who was TB's family members who had been traveling with TB. The court proceedings will read, as alleged in counts 1 and 2, on August 19, 2022, at the direction of defendant Banks, defendants Grant, Wilson, Jones, and Lindsay, and Houston and co-conspirator 2 used 2 vehicles to track, stalk, and attempt to kill TB by gunfire, including with a fully automatic firearm, resulting in the death of SR. Now, following the attempted murder of TB and the murder of SR, defendant Banks sought to commercialize Lil Pop's murder by rapping about his revenge on TB with murder that explicitly references audio clips from news taken shortly after SR's murder, where TB will be screaming "no, no" after seeing Lil Pop's body. Told me they got the Addy, go, got location, go, green light, go, go, go. Look on the news, you see a Sunday screaming "no, no, no." In music, there seems to be sort of a gray area between rapping your real street life and your surroundings, or straight up confessing to a crime. Now, social media put a lot of pressure on Lil Durk to slide for Vaughn, almost instigating to get back. Now, Durk would first vent his insult on the song Who Wants Smoke, featuring Nardo Wick, 21 Savage, and Turbo. They be on my page like slide for Vaughn, I know they trolling me. I also saw what y'all big homies be on to keep the folks with me. Got it back in blood, y'all just don't know, that's how it's supposed to be. Calling for a feature just to kill him because we know he's sweet. This verse came out in 2021.
Shit to a street nigga in that town ain't get coke. I had a best friend with a best friend, she a lesbian.
Now, Durk would also take aim at 6ix9ine, the 9 Trey snitch rapper who would always poke fun at Durk for the death of Vaughn and his cousin Newski, and the slide for Vaughn comments will continue. But considering that most of these comments were suburban Timmys looking for internet clout, Durk really paid it no attention. But in the interview with DJ Academics, Durk will highlight that mysteriously,
like, if I see you, I ain't saying
Vaughn
like,
comments had
off in
disappeared.
the queue.
What are you talking about? By the slide for Vaughn comments. I don't know if people still say it. They used to say it, but you also mentioned a song. They be like, they be saying slide for Vaughn. I think they trolling me. Yo, by the way, them songs is fire. I ain't gonna lie.
For some reason, I just don't see them comments no more. For some odd reason. I don't know. Might be the water. You be seeing them comments a lot?
They kind of chilled out a little bit.
I wonder why. We here though. We different in Iraq.
I feel like you're speaking in parables. I'm trying to like decode it a little bit, but it's...
No, we have nothing to do with nothing.
When Quantum Run was shot in LA in 2022, nobody thought that Lil Durk and OTF had any connection or correlation to the murder, given that there would have been too much evidence tying them to the murder if they did go through with it. In multiple interviews I've said, nobody was stupid enough to get on a plane to kill you. And I said this because there'll be so much evidence that they're guaranteeing prison. Well, today I was proven wrong. Lil Durk was actually stupid enough to send 5 guys on a plane to kill Quantum Rondo, and they ended up killing the wrong person. And now all 6 of them are facing life in prison or even the death penalty. For everyone saying that Durk didn't book the flights, bank and flight records show that an OTF member and close associate of Durk coordinated and paid for 5 co-conspirators to travel from Chicago to California on the day before the murder. Around the time the one-way flights were purchased, Durk, also an OTF associate, booking the flights. Don't book no flights under no names involved with me. Now, the OTF associate used OTF credit cards to book those flights, and the same day, the hitman traveled from Chicago to California, and Durk traveled also from Chicago to California in a private jet with another co-conspirator, Kevon Grant, aka Bonnie, who also goes by Cuz. Now, later that day, Cuz allegedly purchased ski masks for the shooters to use to commit the murder and paid using a credit card in Durk's name for the other co-conspirators' hotel. It's rare people ever side with Vlad, especially considering that Durk dissed Vlad multiple times and is obviously hurt by it. But if this is all proven in court that Durk funded the hit, Vlad is right. Now on August 18, the day before the murder, Didi will recruit Flocka and Brown Eyes and send their biographic information so they can board the flight, which included their name, their date of birth, and a picture of their ID cards. And that will be the same day that Durk takes co-conspirator 3, don't book no flights under no names involved with me. Then co-conspirator 3 would purchase airplane tickets for the defendants Wilson, Jones, Lindsay, and Houston, and co-conspirator 2 to travel from Chicago, Illinois to San Diego and California that same day. Co-conspirator 3 would double down, confirming to defendant Wilson via text messages that defendants Wilson, Jones, and Lindsay had the same airline ticket confirmation and that they were on the same plane. Now through Instagram, and it's always Instagram, defendant Wilson, which is Didi, would text friends saying, on my way to LA. Then defendant Houston, which is Boogie, texted co-conspirator 3, on, got clear, I'm 50 minutes away from the airport. All the co-conspirators flew from Chicago to San Diego instead of LA, but later drove to LA so that there was no direct receipt of transportation to the city where the murder took place. Now the airplane tickets were purchased were funded by the OTF business credit card, and then OTF Ani, who was the second person in command, who was running the operation from the ground, would buy ski masks and cash for all the associates. Now on the second credit card, Vonnie, aka Grant, would pay for the rooms in Los Angeles at the LA hotel. Now Vonnie would also provide the crew with 2 cars, a white BMW sedan from a rental company, which may have been a mistake, and a white Infiniti sedan with fake license plates. Now, the first car was a car full of the tailgaters, potentially Didi and Bonnie because they didn't want to get their hands dirty. And the second car had the shooters, aka Flocka, Brown Eyes, and Boogie. Now, after getting Quandaron was dropped from suspected co-conspirator 2, who remains anonymous, which is assumed to be an LA local, then followed Quandaron's black Escalade for hours going to the dispensary, a clothing store, and then finally caught him lacking when he stopped for gas at the Beverly Hills gas station. Then 3 individuals, after parking the car in an alleyway, opened fire on the parked black Escalade as Lil Pop was outside the car, and he was hit with bullets that left him dead that sent Quando Rondo spiraling. Right now, Durk is in jail for a decision that was made that he felt was right for him. Now, Durk has been represented by True Finland, hip-hop's most famous criminal lawyer, who coincidentally is representing NBA YoungBoy, his biggest rival. Now, Durk would initially have his trial in January 2025, so Finland will file a motion for him to get bail. A bond package that includes $2.3 million from Durk's 2 Atlanta, Georgia homes and $1 million from Sony Music, his record label. Now, unfortunately, that wasn't enough to convince the judge to let him free because the feds linked Durk to a second murder-for-hire operation involving the death of Stephon Mack, the gang member who killed his brother D-Fang outside of Chicago nightclub in 2021. Now, Finland is known for its amazing plea deals, but given that this is a federal charge with the mandatory minimum for Durk's charges being life in prison, he has no choice but to take the trial if he ever wants a chance at freedom again. Now, comment what you talk about next, and thank you for watching this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that post notification bell. Let's get it.